guys, welcome to Midweek Motivation. Today's topic is compliance. It's a lot of dry reading, but it's very so important reading, especially being in the Cincy business. Because we have signed up under the Cincy name, we do have a code and rules that we do have to follow that protects both Cincy and us. And the compliance guide here is to give us those rules that we can follow. Um, I will go ahead. What it says here, what you'll learn, a companion to the Cincy standards. This guide provides explanations, examples, guidelines for specific policies to help you market Cincy products and the opportunity in a compliant way. Now, I'm not going to read this word for word. I did go through earlier today and highlight a bunch. You can find this under your dashboard, under training, and it actually should be one that all training, and it should be like the second or third one down. It says compliance. If I was you, I would definitely try to read this at least once a week, every 2 weeks. I mean, I pretty much have it memorized, unfortunately, but, it does constantly change too. So, here it says, essentially, one of our main responsibilities to you as a consultant is to provide and enforce standards that support you and protect your Cincy business. Like I said, it's protecting you and protecting Cincy. And as you share Cincy's products and the opportunity with others, the Cincy standards help you know what is required, expected of you, and acceptable. And because we take our responsibility to protect your business opportunity seriously, failure to comply with the Cincy standards may result in suspension and or cancellation of your consultant account. Now, I actually was consulted well over a year before compliance contacted me. They were actually really cool about it. They have now since contacted me twice in the 2 years I've been with Cincy. Basically, all I did was just respond to him, showing that either I had taken down the offense or I had adjusted it. No other things. Now, I've heard on a higher when you do something a little bit more in depth with compliance, they have penalized you before. So just make sure you keep that in mind. This is all again for your safety and for your business and for your business and for Cincy's here. So the primary responsibility of Cincy's compliance team, regardless of what you think, is not to sit there and hunt and point out your mistakes. Is to educate you and answer your questions. Like I said, most of the time they're going to actually point you to the policies. They're going to point you to the guide to show where you made the mistake, give you time to rectify it, and then go from there. But when necessary, the team also enforces these rules to protect your right and ability to operate as an independent Cincy consultant. Chapter 1 goes over your compliance basis here. Uh, you know, this is kind of a quick look over what we're going to discuss tonight. You can never post Cincy products for sale on an e-commerce site such as like Amazon, eBay, Mercari, or any other site generally associated as e-commerce platform. Now we will get into the Facebook and stuff, and I'll discuss how you can do it on Facebook, but and why you can't do it on Amazon though. You can never sell Cincy products at a retail location that includes any vendor events. So, unfortunately, if we've got someone that's having their 50th celebration of their store opening, we are disqualified for being there because it is considered a retail location. You can never have customers or guests do a pay to play. We'll go into that, and never make misleading or deceptive claims of any kind in your advertising. Now, we had another member that I know that had said there was no egg, no formaldehyde, whatever in the Cincy products. Complaint reached out to him and says, because we don't say this on our website, you can't say it. So just be really careful when you start claiming, that this works here or this works there, that, in my opinion, I really love this. You can do this or always test, but definitely with ingredients and stuff, don't start naming off stuff. Go directly to your Cincy website to get that information. Chapter 2 is corporate pricing. Like I said, this is a fairly long chapter. It's a lot of dry reading. I've got a link in the Facebook group where you can go to. Cincy's Cincy are referred to as corporate pricing, which is the only pricing authorized to be advertised to the general public. So that means I don't care if you've got excess of something, you can't have a personal special and blurt it out on your Facebook page. It is against compliance and stuff. Everything has to be across the board, an even playing field for everybody. Hence, we cannot personally or tell personal specials to a broad audience. There is an exception. You can set whatever pricing you want with your customers, but you have to do it in a one-on-one environment. The only really one-on-one environments is you have to be face to face with them with no one else can hear around you. You can do it via text message. You can also do it via phone call. You can do it via Facebook Messenger. Now, any of the groups or pages on Facebook that are called private are not considered private by Cincy. So if you have a VIP group, unfortunately, that does not qualify and you can't do a personal special. You can advertise, hey, I have a personal special, message me for the details. You can do that, but you can't say, "Hey, I've got 10 bars for $40," because that is not a corporate special. So your audience, it kind of goes into, again, the private, the one-on-one communication, and then the online social media. The public is any form of communication directed generally or broadly, so that's possible for you, your personal customers, as other consultants' customers are able to see and hear your advertisements. So public advertising would be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, vehicle wraps, newsletter ads, temporary event booth signage, flyers on a bulletin board, etc. Going into inventory on hand, Cincy does not require you to keep any inventory on hand. In fact, Cincy prohibits you from building up excess amounts of inventory, also known as inventory loading. They do take, if you are buying for an event and they contact you because you have started buying a bunch that's under your name, they will contact you. You just have to explain that I am buying this for event and then like show your registration. I've also bought for an event and actually put the event as the customer name. So that way it pops up that this is an event that I'm buying for. But otherwise, you definitely don't want to be it, loading up on inventory. You can all advertise that you are offering a cash and carry sale. I mean, you can have an open house once, twice a year, advertise that it's going to be cash and carry. There is a exception. You can't share any details or images of what you're going to be offering, except for in a private one-on-one communication. So if you got a bunch of bars that customers going to like, you can tell them, hey, I've got these bars, I'm going to have this cash and carry. However, you can't tell well, you can tell multiple people as long as you're doing it in one-on-one setting. You can't just go post it on Facebook or somewhere like that. You cannot advertise or otherwise imply publicly that you offer cash and carry sales on a permanent or semi-permanent basis. I know for me, I do not advertise that I have any product on hand and stuff unless someone directly asks me, and then I will tell them. Do not post, publish, or comment with pictures or videos in a product advertising showing or listing more inventory on hand that would qualify as compliant promotional display. I did not realize this, but when you go to a vendor event and you're taking pictures of you and all the goods you got set up, that is actually against compliance. So that means I've got to do something different. So on that, and we'll go into more into that inventory in hand and what constitutes a promotional display that you can. So again, if you're at an event, you're not allowed to take a video or show pictures of the cash and carry stuff that you have because that is against compliance. You cannot post, publish, or comment with pictures or videos of discontinued products in a product advertisement. Now, if you're posting for using hey, I got this in my house, I'm using it, that is fine, but you can't advertise like we're still trying to sell it. So, pay and to play. Basically, this is when customer must pay money or purchase a product to participate in any activity or game of chance. Basically, in other words, if it costs money to pay or participate and prizes are awarded by random selection, it's not allowed. It is very, very, very illegal. Uh, So you cannot, you can't sell bingo cards or raffle tickets to customers or guests for your bingo games or drawings. You may not require a customer to place an order to be entered into a mystery host drawing. It's got to be open to everybody. I know, like on our party pages, we just say, "Hey, place your order. You get points for it." We've had to take that out because that is considered pay to play because they got to place that order to get that many points. So it's got to be where they can earn points without purchasing anything. However, there are some activities that are not considered pay to play and that are allowed. A game of skill or chance, like guess how many cent circles or how many jelly beans is in this. It's where anybody can participate complete free of charge. You can, for example, play bingo or hold a random drawing at your party if everyone gets to play or enter for free. Likewise, you may play a game of skill, such as a race where the first guest to send their contact information via text to a text message consultant earns a prize. You can offer prizes through completing simple tasks like liking, commenting on, sharing a post, inviting. You know, you can create your own custom bingo cards. But if you notice, all this is not requiring them to purchase anything through us. So, an offer to I'm just going through here because I don't have it, so highlighted. But anyway, it does offer to increase. If you want to go over that, I will. Here is another big thing. I do like to sell to other consultants. However, there is a duty I have to follow and a duty they have to follow. Selling to other consultants when you're selling non-current catalog, that means something that's not in our catalog right now, to other consultants, the price must be discounted to deduct for any commission. And what that is, it shows you how most of the time we are deducting 25% commission. However, with the Cincy Club, if you have items in Cincy Club that are no longer available, just make sure the other person understands that you're only getting 15% commission off of it. That way you're not losing money on the deal. It does go over here on how to figure all of that out here. The actual additional shipping costs and taxes and stuff can go to the other person. Now, in order for the other person to get the consultant discount, they have to prove that they are an active consultant or a current consultant, I should say. So, if you're the buyer to get the discount, you must prove you're a current consultant. You've got to show your active workstation, and once they have proven it, then you've got to give them that discount here. So, all right. And please know if you have reasonable knowledge upfront that the buyer is a consultant, you must offer the discounted price or decline the sale. Like I said, I actually declined a sale. I knew she was a consultant. She wanted 25% off. I had gotten it through my Cincy Club and I was only offering 15%. So I declined it because I'm not about to lose money. Chapter 3 is marketing materials. I'm trying to go through this as quickly as I can. You're going to follow the independent consultant logo guidelines. While Cincy does not limit the fonts or colors you can use in your own content, you may not alter the official Cincy logos in any way, including the logo font and color. So if it is the Cincy logo, leave it alone. Anything else, you're okay. Do not use someone else's intellectual property. In other words, you may not use another person's or company's photos, logos, designs, or other creative work in your marketing without their permission. This comes into our licensing agreement with Disney, with Universal Studios, Friends, Warner Brothers, and stuff. They have given us permission to use certain marketing images. When we start adding images of our own to sell Cincy, we are basically flaunting the agreement in their face. That could possibly mean that they yank their contract with us and we don't get them anymore. So we don't want to jeopardize that. So for licensed products, only use what Cincy has put out there. I know I see places with Winnie the Pooh, Cinderella, Disney, we can't do our own, unfortunately, can't do our own Cincy advertisements with them, any of those information, and it is considered intellectual property. So, um, going on here. You can create custom Scentsy marketing materials and branded items like pins, shirts, buttons for your personal use through a third party that is not already Scentsy approved vendor if the third party submits a completely limited license to reproduce. But you can also do it yourself. You can create your own buttons and pins and t-shirts as long as you are not selling to others with it. So you may not create items though for the purpose of reselling, and you may not sell your self-produced business supplies to other consultants. Basically, you can't create a team t-shirt, place the order, and then try to sell to others, including any consultants, even those on your team. Last year, we went to SFR. Shonda had designed our shirts. We did not go through Shonda to order it. We actually went through the Etsy dealer, our vendor, to buy the shirt. That way she wasn't in violation of compliance. Chapter 4, online marketing here. Depending on where you choose to market online, there are certain rules that you're going to have to follow, you know, and there are some rules that you must follow in all your marketing. And like I said, this is a lot of dry reading, and I apologize here. First of all, you're going to always want to identify yourself as a Scentsy independent consultant. You know, you don't ever want to say that you're just Scentsy. And unfortunately, I see a lot of Facebook pages where it's got a name and then Scentsy or Scentsy consultant. That is against compliance. It needs to have independent Scentsy consultant or Scentsy independent consultant. It has to have that complete phrase in everything. And you can also include a link to your registered external website or your PWS. The external website is like what Shonda has. Sorry, I see a hand raised. Well, like what Shonda has is Southern Magnolias. You click on it and then directs it to her PWS. Now, here we go on the e-commerce site that we were talking about, like Amazon, Mercari, eBay, and stuff. Why we're not allowed to use them is because they require a direct checkout functionality, meaning that the payment is processed their own site. So we cannot use that according to compliance. However, we can post stuff on the online classifieds like on Facebook as long as we are directing them to our PWS or our registered external website. So if you're going to do that, like say we got Scooby Doo coming up, you can start posting pictures on classifieds. So when they click on it, they can pull it up. But then for them to order it, they have to go to your PWS in order to order it. They just can't contact you to order it. They have to go through your site here. You must limit your advertisements to the Scentsy opportunity, corporate pricing. Hey, Crystal. Corporate specials and or current products. You may never advertise details about your personal specials. Do not advertise your inventory for hand, including discontinued products. Get big, no. Now, someone asks you one-on-one, that's a different story. But again, you're not allowed to advertise it here. If a site, so Facebook ends up doing where you have to have a direct checkout through Facebook that was previously unavailable, unfortunately, we have to remove any ads then. Now, digital media. You may create and share Scentsy-related videos and other digital media if the content complies with the Scentsy standards. Basically, I like to say if Scentsy puts it out on their Facebook page, feel free to share it all you want. However, if it's not on the Scentsy Facebook page, I would be very careful about sharing it and probably would recommend reaching out to compliance first. Like for SFR or World Tour, we have presentations. They don't want you recording it and then showing it to others. However, you can post a video of yourself reacting to a product announcement. Oh my God, but you can't actually record the entire presentation where the product announcement was. Social media, you can use your social networking sites like Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter to promote Scentsy products and opportunities and direct your contacts um, to your website. Again, we can't create or offer any e-commerce functionality, which is that direct checkout here. Always have to show that you're independent Scentsy consultant when you share information or promote Scentsy to your friends, to anybody. Hence, any flyer you make in Canva has to have that Scentsy independent consultant logo on it. If it is not on there, you can get caught on that. Unfortunately, compliance does have a set of watchdogs that does nothing but go through the Facebook, basically go through every social media site looking for stuff that could possibly harm Scentsy in different ways. I had one that I was offering a personal special on a Chamber of Commerce website. Unfortunately, I didn't even think about it when I offered the personal special, but compliance contacted me. I had to remove it. So now I have, please message me for my personal special because it is not considered private even through them. So, all right, going on here. Well, we're getting through it a little bit. Chapter 5, in-person marketing. This goes back to that retail locations. I see several vendor Scentsy people doing vendor events at retail locations. That is such a big no. A retail location is any location that offers goods and services as its primary objective, like a shopping mall, a restaurant, hair salon, or all retail locations. Common areas of a like the sidewalks, the hallways, breezeways, retail, parking lots, are still considered a retail location. So you have to be really careful. So I won't ever do an event at a retail location because of that. Um, In-person parties and open houses that take place at a retail, this is the only exception location. You have to have it after hours, and it cannot be publicly advertised and or open to the general public. So it is literally whoever you personally invite can come, and that is it. Beyond these private events, you cannot offer any cash or carry sales at a inventory. They even state that you cannot even deliver orders to customers at a retail location. Regarding signage, my husband's always telling me you need to put a sign out here to let people know that you sell Scentsy. Again, that is kind of, you can't do that because that would imply that you had inventory for cash and carry on a permanent basis. So we can't display any type of signage on our windows, outside our residence, or any location where we operate our Scentsy business that it might appear to someone passing by that it is a retail location. But we are able to display signage on our vehicle at all times or display temporary signage, like if you're going to have an open house, home party, or some kind of event. Uh, it does also say you can go ahead and do a promotional display at a retail location, but that display nor the signage, my dogs are going nuts, sorry, can be easily visible to the passerby. So they can't just walk by the business and look in and see your promotional display. It's got to be set off somewhere else. Temporary events. If you're thinking about doing events, you need to read this section. I'm not going to go through it all, but I can tell you most farmer markets, flea markets, and trade days do not meet the criteria to be considered a temporary event. And when I'm talking about temporary event, cash and carry, you can't do those. I've got one up here. They're starting to have a event first Saturday every month for the next 3 or 4 months. I cannot set up with my Scentsy goodies. Now I can go set up and take orders for online. I can set up as a promotional display, but I cannot set up as a cash and carry there. Like I said, if you're doing events, you definitely need to see all this. They got small event exceptions if you participate in a fair or show. Now, here on the promotional display, this is the requirements on promotional displays that you can show. You can show one item out of each of our categories or price points, and that's it. So Again, you cannot publicly advertise your Scentsy booth by posting a picture, video, or a list of specific items you will have available. Uh, you can post a picture or video of a promotional display on your social media to advertise it, though. And you may not represent or sell Scentsy or and non-Scentsy products or opportunities at the same event, even if they're in separate booths. So you can't basically, even at home, if you're having a garage sale or whatever, you know what? You better not be near that garage sale. You've got to have your own little area if you're doing the cash and carry. So you may not ever offer cash and carry sales at events that take place in a retail location, just period. The promotional display, these are great for like local businesses that you have that you want to kind of get your word out and find new customers. We can do that. We can do that. You just, again, can't do the cash and carry here. A promotional display can be as simple as a Scentsy warmer, a stack of catalogs, a few business cards, or it may include a variety of products to help showcase the diversity of the Scentsy brand. Now, it cannot include more than one item from each of Scentssy's product categories or price points. So you can have one cleaner, one laundry, one wax, one warmer. You know, I heard someone or I've read that they say five is basically your max that you can have for it considered to be a promotional display and stuff. Assuming your promotional display meets these guidelines, you may post pictures and or videos of that display on your social media. So again, lots of information here, and this was updated in March. And if you have not read it, you definitely need to. It does continue on for like what is expected of directors, super star directors, and superstar directors. We're not going to get into that. If you'd like to read it, please do so. But kind of going over the glossary again. For cash and carry sales, is customers take the product home with them at the time of purchase. You go to a grocery store, you buy your groceries, you carry out. That's the same thing here. Inventory loading, uh, intentionally building up excess inventory or encouraging your downline to purchase and carry large amounts of inventory is prohibited. At least 70% of your total PRV must be sold to customers outside your household. Again, that's when, if you're doing an event, maybe put the event as the customer's name. That way, if compliance looks it up, they can see you are getting this for an event. If they do contact you, have that registration. But otherwise than that, there's no point in you having inventory at all. One-on-one communication, we've kind of gone over that. Pay to play, personal specials. I love personal specials, but you got to do it one-on-one, guys. Public advertising, social media, newspaper, signs, online forums, Google Forms, where the link is shared publicly. We talked about promotional display. Again, I think really a good rule of thumb would be 5 to 6 products, because I think if you get more than that, you're going to lose what you're trying to get across anyway. There's going to be too much clouding up your promotional display. So keep that definitely in mind. But that is just my thoughts. Again, one product per category or one product per price point. The retail location, again, I cannot stress this enough because I personally know somebody that does a lot of events at retail locations. Unfortunately, I say one of these days compliance unfortunately will catch her. It won't be me that turns her in though, but she apparently has not read her compliance standards. A retail location's establishment, including its common areas where the sale of goods or services occurs as a primary objective. Now, that is also determined at Scentssy's discretion on a perpetual or regular basis. A mall, including its common areas, is a retail location. Fairgrounds or convention centers whose primary objective is events, not concession stand sales, are not retail locations. A private residence is not a retail location unless it's otherwise licensed for the sale of goods by its local city. And the determination was considered a common area if Scentssy's sole and absolute destruction. So that is it. Like I said, if you have not taking a look at Sensei's compliance, you definitely need to. It's got lots of information there. You don't want to be caught unaware. Like I said, compliance really aren't the big bad things we think they are. They're very nice. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording since I can't show on recording how to get to compliance. I do want to let you know that compliance is really easy to talk to get a hold. Like I said, they have contacted me twice in 6 months. The first time, yes, really scared the pants out of me, off of me. But you know what? It was a minor infraction. I fixed it. I sent back showing that I had fixed it and never heard anything else on that one. And then I had another minor infraction. So, like I said, minor infractions you're probably not going to worry too much about. But if you do have a question on whether or not you can do it, your best bet is always to reach out to compliance. And they most of the time will get back with you within 24 hours. So questions, talk to compliance before doing or saying something. So let's go ahead and what about Cincy Sales and we put a bundle together? As long as like clearance bundles and stuff, as long as you're using corporate pricing for your bundle, it doesn't matter. So if you want to take a mini warmer out of clearance, a couple of wax bars out of clearance, and put them together as a bundle, you're okay because that is all corporate pricing. Now you can't do it and do it bundle and do it less than corporate pricing. So as long as the pricing matches what is on your PWS, you are good. So hope that